Okay, hi everybody. My name is Gabriel Afana. I am the co-founder of Purple Pass Ticketing. I've been around the industry for about 12 years now, and making this video series to share some information and help everyone in the event industry to help make it through this absolutely incredible, unprecedented event that's going on. The last video, I kind of gave a summary of what's actually happening with the virus, what we know about it, the facts, the data, the research, and where we're probably going to go. And this video is going to be focused entirely on getting you help right now. I would say pretty much everybody has had to cancel all of their events into the summer. It's messy. And if you're watching this, you are in that boat. Thankfully, there has been some help from the government in the form of CARES Act. And it offers several different things to actually get you real, legitimate help in your pocket right now. This isn't just fairy tale like, oh, it's going to help and it's going to trickle down. This is actual money in your pocket. And so in this video, I'm going to show you how to do that, how to get that money, how to apply for it, where to go, who qualifies, how much you can get, and all of that information. That's what I'm going to be focusing on now. I do want to start off by saying, please do not get discouraged during this time. Everyone is going through it. This isn't just you stuck at home and the rest of the world is having a great time. We are all in the same boat together. So it makes things a little different to know that you are not being singled out. Be confident. This will end. And when it does, people are going to want to go outside. They are all cooped up. Everyone's cooped up at home, being forced not to go anywhere, not hang out with their friends, their family, go to restaurants, go to bars, go to concerts. As soon as this is over and they say, hey, go outside, it's my personal belief that it is going to be a madhouse. People are going to crave social interaction. And this is where all of you are going to come in to put on these great events that people can afford. We're probably going to want to avoid the ultra high dollar events to start. Let's get some things that are affordable. But as soon as this virus starts tapering off, events are going to be something people cannot wait to get to. And this is our responsibility to put this out. Getting into the actual money in your pocket, which I'm sure you're mainly interested in, there are three key things that came out in the CARES Act. One is the Economic Injury Disaster Loan, the Economic Injury Disaster Grant, and the third one is the Paycheck Protection Program. I'll break these down. They're actually pretty simple when you get into them. The main one, the big one, is the loan. The loan is basically a loan from the SBA, which is the Small Business Association. It is a loan from them directly to you that you apply up to $2 million. It is 3.75% interest rate for for-profit business, corporations, sole proprietors, things like that. And it's 2.75 for nonprofits. It is, like I said, up to $2 million and up to 30 years you can pay it back. The first payment on this loan is deferred for a year, meaning you have a year before you even have to make your first payment. This loan is intended for people that have a cash flow problem. You're an event organizer and your event is springtime, April, once a year. It's a big festival and the whole thing got shut down. You don't just have payroll issues, you have funding issues. That money you may make in that one festival, or if you're a theater and you have a lot of your shows during the springtime, this is not just a one-time quick, some payroll, you can furlough some employees or lay them off or cut some cost. This is your bread and butter for the year. This is where this type of loan will come in. It is a big loan and it will help you make it through this period. The approval is based purely on your credit score. It is not dependent on your ability to repay it. It's not dependent on whether or not you've even are able to provide tax returns. It is totally about your credit score. And if the loan amount is less than $200,000, you do not need to personally guarantee it. So you can just apply for it, give them some of the basic information they ask for, and if you're approved, great, simple, they'll get you the money very quickly. Should you apply? The industry needs to go on, and we need event organizers like you to put them on. And if this downtime is putting you out of business, this loan might be the way to go. It's a very low interest rate. It's a very long payment. It's designed not to burden you with debt, but to get you through just this short period that this virus is attacking us. There are also no early payoff fees. So think about that. Your first payment isn't for a year, and you can sit on the money. If you need it, you have it. If you don't need it, give it back. And there's no penalty for early payoff, and there's no payments even due for a year. So within a year, you'll know if you need it or not. So to me, my personal opinion, take the loan. So that's the actual economic injury disaster loan. This is the main big loan they keep talking about that's from the SBA to help businesses. The other thing that's kind of a side to it is a grant. This kind of came up just with the CARES Act. They kind of put this in. It's sort of like a $10,000 in your pocket, really quick, borderline free. Now, let me explain what it is. You go online, you apply for this, they only ask a couple of key questions. What was your gross revenue? What were your gross expenses, cost of goods sold, and a few other basic details. And in the application, they even ask for your bank account because they deposit the money within 3 days or 4 days of receiving the application or something to that effect. It's very fast. The idea here is to give you money up to $10,000 right now to help you through this immediate time. And if you apply for the actual big loan and that loan is still pending, it doesn't matter. They'll give you that up to $10,000 like right now. If that loan even gets denied, or you can still get the up to $10,000 grant, and you just keep the money. You don't even need to pay it back. So if you applied for the big loan, you say, I need $100,000, and then you apply for the grant, and it's kind of all done together in a streamlined application, they can send you $10,000 by a few days, and you just keep it. So the whole goal here is very short-term cash in your hand to keep you going, and this is intended for the businesses. And so as an individual, you cannot apply, but as a business, you can apply. So there is absolutely no reason you should not do this, because this is borderline, almost guaranteed free money in your pocket. Now, whether or not you'll get up to $10,000, that depends. On the application process, they decide that. You don't get to ask, but do it. There is pretty much no reason not to do it, even if your other application is denied. And don't quote me on this, but everything I've read seems to imply that you can request the $10,000 grant and not even apply for the loan. But it seems to me that it is all together, because, and the reason for any kind of confusion was before they passed the CARES Act, they had a very long, super long application form. Once they passed it, they streamlined it. When they streamlined it, it made it a lot shorter and easier and kind of all in one. So anyways, apply for this. There is no reason not to. Get that $10,000 from the government to keep you in business. So we've gone over the loan, we've gone over the grant, and now we're going to talk about the PPP, Paycheck Protection Program. This one is pretty top-notch. Basically, the government is going to pay for up to 2 months of payroll for your employees. So the way it works is you apply for it. This one is done through your local bank, FDIC insured bank. Talk to them and they can do the loan application for you. Well, it's not even a loan. It's also sort of like a grant. They take 2.5 times your average monthly payroll. And this includes employees, whether they're contractors, they're 1099s, they're W-2s. This includes commission, everything related to payroll expenses. Multiply that by 2.5 times for a given month. Multiply it by 2.5 times, and that's the amount that they'll give you. If you use this money only, or 80% or 75%, 80% for payroll, paying your employees, they will forgive the loan, meaning you do not need to pay it back. They are giving you money to pay your employees so that they come back to work or stay. So if you have not laid off any employees yet or furloughed them, use this money to continue to employ them for 2 more months. If you have reduced pay, furloughed, or laid off these employees, you can still apply. You have until June 30th of 2020 to bring them back and restore where you were on payroll as of February 15th, 2020. So meaning if you just need to keep your employees employed, reduce their unemployment. We want them to be at work, on the job, ready to go. The whole big picture is to keep the businesses open, keep the employees employed, keep everything ready so that when this virus eventually, and it will, go away, or at least minimize to a point where we can become a normal country again, we are ready to go. If everything is shut down, there's no event organizers, there's no employees to work for the event organizers, there's no events. Even if people say, if the government says, and the states and the mayors and the governor, and they all say, everybody go out, everything's fine, have a good time. And there's nothing to do. We are still essentially would be in a recession. You need all the pieces to work together, and it's our part. And this is what all this is about. Help you keep the business open and help you pay for your employees. Now, something else with this, 25% of this money can be used to pay overhead. That includes mortgages for your business, if you own a building, lease for your rent, for the office, and utilities. So whatever they give you, this is kind of where that 2.5%, that 0.5% comes in, or I'm sorry, 2.5 times. So you use basically 2 months worth for your employees, and then you can use a little bit to pay some of your overhead. And again, it is forgiven. You do not need to pay it back. You apply at your local bank, as long as it's an FDIC insured bank, which pretty much most of them are, or your credit union. If you choose not to bring back your employees after you're given this money, or you do not restore your employees to kind of where they were as of February 15th in terms of your payroll expenses, they are not going to forgive it. You still need to pay it back. However, this is a much nicer loan. It is only a 1% interest, and the first payment is deferred for 6 months. There is no collateral needed, no personal guarantees, and there are no borrower or lender fees associated with this. When can you apply? Now, the big loan we were talking about originally is open now. Go apply, go to the SBA website, check the description of this video. There are links to go directly to the SBA so that you can apply for the big loan and the grant. But for the Paycheck Protection Program, it opens April 3rd. That is Friday, April 3rd, 2020. At that moment, there are going to be a lot of people trying to apply. So get on there as soon as you can. Don't procrastinate. There are limited funds. There are billions and billions and billions of dollars available for this, but the whole country is going to try to apply, or a large portion of it. So do not procrastinate. Get on it. Follow the link for the loans, and then call your bank to find out about applying for this Paycheck Protection Program. So if you are a small business or a sole proprietor, April 3rd. If you are an independent contractor or self-employed, they are delaying that until April 10th. Should you apply for this? Yes, because it's my opinion, this one is even a little better than the main loan because this one also will be forgiven. So you can get up to $10,000 grant, and then you can get up to 2.5 months payroll, and all of this is given to you without needing to be paid back. The government is trying to do what they can to help businesses keep going. So I would definitely apply for this. So call your bank, figure out how they want to handle that process. Can you apply for the payroll protection and for the loan, the big loan? And the answer is yes. Ideally, you cannot cross over liabilities, meaning you use your payroll protection for payroll. And then you can use the loan for ongoing expenses. You can even use it for upgrades, for inventory, different elements related to maintaining and operating the business. That's more of the big jumbo loan. The payroll is primarily to keep your employees working and give you just a little bit to help with your overhead for the next month or two. Now, being that this video is for event organizers, a lot of you are nonprofits, a lot of you are theaters and other recipients of grants. One element within this CARES Act is the National Endowment for the Arts. The bill included $75 million extra to help contribute and provide more grants. So if you do participate in grants with the National Endowment for the Arts, feel free to continue with that. They are extra funded, so that is a good thing. To wrap this up, there are 3 different primary sources of funding right now. There's the loan, there's the grant, there's the payroll. The loan gives you up to $2 million to help you fund this downturn, to keep you in business, to help get you through. And the first payment isn't for a year, and you have no fees or penalties for early payback. The grant, up to $10,000, essentially free money. Apply for it. They are saying 3 or 4 days. It's very quick. So you should do that. Get the free money, the grant. And then there's the payroll protection. If you have employees and also some of your overhead, apply for that. These are the 3 main things. Again, maintain hope. We are all going through this together. We will come out. The day will come and the day will pass when all of this is over and all of this becomes something in the history books that we talk about, saying we all went through that. I am asking to please like the video and to share it with anyone else that you know might benefit. This is focused on event organizers because this is my industry, but this information applies for everyone. So if you know anybody, friends or family or other businesses that might benefit from knowing of the 3 main programs that are available to get money for businesses as part of the CARE Act, these are the 3 ways. This is the information. All the links are in the description. So please share it, provide it to anybody you know that might help. If you find this video is helpful, please comment. We'll continue producing these videos, not just for right now, but to provide information and insight into the industry, how to continue to get through this. And then ultimately, when things are back to normal, we're going to be doing best practices on all the different elements of managing events and promoting them and marketing them and all of that. So, and the most important is please subscribe. That tells me you guys like this. So please subscribe. And if you have any questions, leave comments. We'll be keeping an eye on it. And again, stay safe.